Baylor, Mississippi State, East Region on CBS Friday. Scott Drew and the Baylor Bears making their fourth straight tourney appearance. Chris Jans and Mississippi State seeking their first tournament win since 2008. We're tied at 12 midway through the first half. Josh Hubbard puts the Bulldogs up 3. He had 14 first half points. And then just over 4 minutes left to go, you see Hubbard to Riley Kugel, worth another look. Let's get to just under 30 ticks to go in the half in a 3-point game. Robert Wright III driving and getting it as the Bears up 5 at the half, the largest lead so far. It was back and forth as Baylor outscored Mississippi State 18-12 in the paint in that first half. Now it's an 8-point game. Early second, Norchad Omier lays it up, puts it back in. He had 11 points and 9 rebounds. Minute later, Wright to VJ Edgecombe. Baylor led by as many as 11. Bulldogs trying to make it interesting with 5 minutes left to go. Cameron Matthews out to Kugel. Corner three's good. 11 points off the bench, 3 of 6 from long distance for Kugel. Still down 5, though, is Hale State. Wright losing the ball. Claudel Harris Jr. scooping it up. Going to find Hubbard. Cross-court pass, catch and shoot. Hubbard finished with a game-high 26 points. Baylor made it a 3-point game at the line as Mississippi State talking it over. Under 10 seconds left to go with a chance. Harris from 3. No good. Baylor holds on to win by 3. 7th straight win in the round of 64 for the Bears. And for Scott Drew, more on him in just a bit. 21st NCAA tournament win as Baylor head coach. That's second most in Big 12 history, by the way, only to Bill Self. Baylor wins, and they make it to the round of 32 for the 4th straight tournament. And Rob Wright catching up with Tracy Wolfson, or vis-a-vis vice versa, after the game.
Well, congratulations, Rob. You led the way with 17 points. What was working for you so well today?
I mean, it was just my teammates getting me the ball and just finding me in open spaces, and then just me finishing at the rim.
You've been part of a lot of big games, having gone to Montverde. But what's it like playing in an NCAA tournament game for you?
I mean, it's nothing like it. I mean, I just give all the thanks for God for allowing me to be here, and I'm just blessed to be out here.
This team has struggled with injuries throughout the season. Seems like you're getting healthy. Are you guys clicking at the right time right now?
Yeah, we're definitely clicking at the right time. In the Big 12 tournament, we took a tough loss to a tough Texas Tech team, so we're definitely rolling right now.
Good luck next week. Bye.
He tried to grab the mic from Tracy. Tracy wouldn't have any of it. 62% of the brackets, by the way, in CBSSports.com had Baylor advancing. And first round action, no problem for this program. On the flip side, for Mississippi State, 6 straight losses in the NCAA tournament. Again, haven't won since 2008.
For much more on this, let's go ahead and welcome you inside our CBS Sports HQ studios. I'm Jordan Giorgio alongside John Henson. We got Mike O'Donnell with us. It's been a busy day for both of you. What an ending of a game this was. We'll start with your initial takeaways as this one went final.
Well, you know, it was a one-possession game. Mississippi State made a comeback, but, you know, we just got to go back to the extra possessions, the offensive rebounds. Do you think Mississippi State could have used a couple of those extra possessions and shots to win the game? They were 1 3-point attempt away, essentially, from tying it. So that's the nature of the game. We thought Mississippi State would dominate on the boards. It was quite the opposite. Credit to Baylor coming in and understanding the fight that they're going to have to put up and getting this win and surviving and advancing.
Maybe the grittiest win of Baylor's season. Just the way that they played from a toughness perspective on both ends of the floor, physically on the defensive end. You know, offensively, the way that Mississippi State plays defense, your shots are going to be hard to come by. The cutters are going to be bumped. All the ball handlers are going to get bumped, and they're not going to call everything. The backcourt played excellent for Baylor. Omier was good down low, and the offensive rebounds were a huge key to Baylor's success throughout the course of this game. But for Mississippi State, how do you not go to Hubbard at the end there? They didn't run any action for him. He dropped 26. He was playing great. I don't understand the play call at the end, John.
That was more of I think it was an experience thing. That's a team that hadn't been there in a tight game, in a tournament. You have to go to your go-to guy. Hubbard kind of, when you look at that play, Hubbard was just kind of looking around like, what just happened?
Right.
And that should not happen for your best player, your best shooter, the guy that you need to win a game.
Yeah, you hate this for him in particular. It was interesting. It was looking like Mississippi State was just out-hustled, really, by Baylor for majority of this game until it was Josh Hubbard. You were saying just wait until he heats up, and it's kind of game over.
And you don't see that from Chris Jans' team. Like, that is rare to see. They play hard, they smart, they're really good offensively. You don't ever hear out tough or played harder than a Mississippi State Chris Jans' team. So, like I said, credit to Baylor. I think that experience with Roach, who played in the Final Four, Omer played in the Final Four, Edgecombe, who's a top 5 draft guy who's uber talented, that was just too much for Mississippi State today.
What attributed most to allowing really Baylor to start pulling away in this game? Because it was close, Mike, at first, and then it was really looking like Mississippi State wasn't going to be able to hang on around the entire game.
So just to go back to the backcourt for Baylor, like I thought Edgecombe made plays when he needed to make plays. I'm a big Rob Wright fan. I think what he does for Baylor offensively just kind of steadies the ship and where he can attack, get into the paint, make plays. Like when Edgecombe gets in the paint, he's going to score. When Omer's in the paint, he's going to score. When Roach is in the paint, when Rob Wright's in the paint off the bounce, I have no idea what he's going to do. And those are the best guards to have on your team. And I thought he was really solid in this game.
Can we go ahead and shine a quick light here on Baylor's Scott Drew and the job that he has done? Is he underrated? An underrated coach?
Ooh, I don't know. He was in the running for the Kentucky job and all those jobs. I don't know if he's underrated, but he's one of the best coaches in the nation. I have a soft spot for the Baylor staff. They were the first school to ever offer me a scholarship.
No,
Scott Drew knows talent when he sees it.
Yeah.
So,
what a humble brag that was. Wow.
He just had a slide
Scott Drew, he knows talent when he sees it. What can I say? But, yeah, I love what he does, man. He's the perfect fit for that job, for that school. I'm a Scott Drew fan through and through.
Yes, Scott Drew never recruited me. There might be a reason for that. They had a very up and down season, especially in the Big 12. They did fight some injuries. They had a couple big wins early in non-conference play, but then they got blown out by Duke. So it was a real up and down season. But then when you have an opportunity to get back on track in the NCAA tournament, this is a backcourt that has Sweet 16 written all over it. The only issue after saying that is that they're probably going to have to play the Duke Blue Devils. But with Cooper Flagg fighting that injury, you don't know what he's going to be like. This is a tough, man, that's a tough second-round game for Duke.
100%.
Really tough.
And, you know, we can't, it's March. You guys know this firsthand, if anyone does. You don't want to count out Mount St. Mary's, but it is looking like, you know, obviously, how do you count out Duke, right? So let's give a little preview as we put a bow on this post-game show. What do you expect that outcome to be if it is Duke and Baylor?
Well, you better hope Jeremy Roach has some internal knowledge and things he can tell maybe his teammates about Duke and what they try to do or the game plan. I know in the NBA that's a big thing. But other than that, Duke is just, I think Duke is primed to roll, especially that they're saying Cooper Flagg is going to start today. They're not going to pull the Grant Nelson and sit him down and disrespect their opponents. You know, they're going to not take them lightly, and they're going to be respectful, which I think probably a good idea, seeing what just happened in the Alabama game.
Yeah, and again, I know we're looking forward and a little aggressively here because you know what, we're past the point of where a 16 seed never upsets a 1 seed. That happens now. We see that. But if we make the assumption that Duke's going to move past Mount St. Mary, if you go back and look at the schedule of what Baylor did, you need to go back schematically and say, okay, what team is similar? BYU is very similar to Duke in how they play, and they lost that game in overtime. Baylor has to have the complete opposites game plan that they had against Duke, because you're not going to outscore Duke.
All right, we will leave it there. But Baylor moving on to the second round of the NCAA tournament as they get it done against Mississippi State. Will await their next opponent, which will be either Mount St. Mary's or Duke. That game will be on Sunday. The madness is here. Don't miss a moment of the action on CBS, TBS, TNT, and True TV. Download the March Madness Live app to watch every game, anywhere, anytime.